Imagine waking up one morning to find out you've lost your job with no warning. Or picture yourself suddenly facing a medical emergency or your car breaking down out of the blue. Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. In those moments, would you be ready? Would you be able to pay your bills, buy groceries, and keep the lights on, even if your income stopped or your expenses suddenly spiked? That's exactly why you need an emergency fund. But what is an emergency fund really? How much do you actually need to feel secure? And if money is already tight, is it even possible to build one? Let's break down the answers, step by step, so you can take control of your financial future, no matter where you're starting from. At its core, an emergency fund is simple. It's a dedicated stash of money, set aside for one purpose only, to cover life's unexpected expenses. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe you're hit with a sudden illness or an accident. Maybe your roof starts leaking or your car needs urgent repairs. These aren't things you can plan for, and they're definitely not things that can wait. That's where your emergency fund comes in. Think of it as your personal safety net. Unlike investments or retirement accounts, this isn't money you use to chase profits or upgrade your lifestyle. It's not for vacations, shopping sprees, or the latest gadgets. It's a buffer, protecting you from falling into debt or financial chaos when life throws you a curveball. With an emergency fund in place, you won't need to rely on credit cards, payday loans, or borrowing from friends and family just to make ends meet. Your emergency fund is there so you can weather the storm and get back on your feet, no matter what happens. So, how much money should you actually set aside in this fund? The answer depends on your personal situation, but there's a proven rule of thumb that works for most people. Aim to save between 3 and 6 months worth of your essential living expenses. These are the non-negotiable costs you face every month: rent or mortgage payments, groceries, utility bills, insurance premiums, and transportation. In other words, what would you absolutely need to keep your life running if your income suddenly vanished? Let's make it concrete. If your essential expenses add up to $1,000 each month, your emergency fund goal should be somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000. If you're single and have a stable job, 3 months might be enough to give you peace of mind. But if you have children, dependents, or your income is unpredictable, it's wiser to aim for 6 months or even more. This extra cushion gives you the breathing room to recover and regroup without panicking or making rushed decisions. Now, maybe you're thinking, that's a lot of money. I can barely save anything as it is. The good news is, you don't have to build your emergency fund overnight. Even on a tight budget or a low income, you can make steady progress one step at a time. First, start by figuring out your number. Look at your bank statements or track your spending for a month to understand your true essential costs. Be honest with yourself. Focus only on the bills and expenses you couldn't skip if things got tough. Rent, groceries, utilities, insurance, and minimum debt payments all count. Streaming services, takeout, and new clothes don't. Once you know your monthly essentials, set a clear savings target, 3 to 6 times that number. Even if it feels out of reach right now, having a goal keeps you motivated and focused. Next, make saving automatic. If you wait until the end of the month to set money aside, it's easy to find reasons to skip it. Instead, treat your emergency fund like a non-negotiable bill. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a separate savings account every time you get paid. Even 5 to 10% of your income can add up over time. If you bring home $1,000 a month, that's $50 to $100 saved each month, enough to make real progress, even if it feels small. To speed things up, look for ways to cut back on non-essential spending. Little habits add up. For example, if you buy coffee every morning for $5, that's $150 a month. Cutting back to making coffee at home could free up a big chunk of money for your emergency fund. Review your subscriptions, dining out, shopping, or entertainment expenses. Challenge yourself to find just 1 or 2 areas to trim and direct those savings straight into your fund. If you can, look for ways to boost your income. Can you take on a part-time gig, freelance, tutor, or sell unused items online? Even irregular small amounts can make a big difference when you add them to your emergency savings. A crucial tip: keep your emergency fund somewhere safe and separate, but still accessible in a real emergency. An online savings account is a great option. It usually pays more interest than a checking account, but doesn't come with a debit card, so you're less tempted to dip into it for non-emergencies. Remember, building an emergency fund takes time, patience, and discipline. You might start with just $50 or $100. That's okay. The important thing is to start and to keep going little by little. Every dollar you save is one more dollar of security and peace of mind. An emergency fund won't make you rich overnight, but it will protect you from going broke when life doesn't go as planned. It means fewer sleepless nights, less stress, and more freedom to make choices based on what's right for you, not just what you can afford in the moment. So, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for your next raise, your next bonus, or your next New Year's resolution. Start building your emergency fund today, no matter how small. Your future self will thank you for taking this powerful step toward financial freedom and security. Now, let's hear from you. Do you have an emergency fund yet? How many months of expenses are you aiming to cover? Share your goals and progress in the comments, and let's inspire each other to build a safer, brighter financial future. And remember, like, share, and subscribe for more smart money tips to help you thrive, no matter what life brings.